Good afternoon, Content Marketing Academy. It's great to be back. It's Monday morning. Hope you're feeling good and you're feeling productive, passionate about what it is that you're doing. I did the podcast yesterday, got it published. It's all about how to build a community online, and it's all my thoughts about everything that I've been doing over the last, but last year maybe, but especially in the last 3 or 4 months on how to build an online community. I want to share all my insights with you. But one of the things I want to share with you today, relevant to what's happening in the Content Marketing Academy, within this group and within this community, is how to share content online. Now, it's something that's been bothering me a little bit, never really sure why, I'm actually starting to figure all this out. So for example, in this community forum, we've got 240 people in the group, right? What if everybody started just putting their blog articles in there and their content? I've seen other groups doing it, other forums doing it as well. Adds no value whatsoever. Okay, now I know a couple of you, even I've done it, I've shared my content straight into the group, right? But what's happened is actually a few people have said to me, Chris, is it okay if I share this video? Is it okay if I share this blog article? And in some cases, some people have actually said to me, Chris, I would like to share more content in the group. What's the best way to go about doing it? And the answer to that question is really simple. The best way to share content in this forum is 2 ways. One is to either thread it in and make it relevant within conversation. Okay, so it might be a conversation or topic that's taking place that you've got a really good blog article that'll make sense in there. Drip it in and tell people why it's relevant. The other thing you could do is use Pay It Forward Friday. I'd love it if everyone used Pay It Forward Friday. You've got a piece of content that you've published recently, or you're digging one out of the archives, whatever. Drop it into Pay It Forward Friday. Otherwise, what would happen is if everyone wanted to share their content in the group, it would just be blog article after blog article after video after podcast, and it wouldn't make any sense at all. It'd just be like that spam page that I showed earlier where people are just selling their products all the time. So the best way to do it is to thread it in. But there's a wider lesson in all of this and how you share content generally online anyway. So in other forums and other groups as well. The best way to do it is to make it totally relevant and thread it into the conversations. Or make it relevant to the group somehow. So for example, we've seen some people in the group who've had some achievements. You know, they've been published in a newspaper, they've been published in a local magazine, or they've been published on a really big website, or something else, some sort of achievement anyway, is the point I'm making. And you kind of want to shout out about that, and I get that. You know, you're sort of saying, I achieved this thing, this is great. But what I would do to take that one step further is like, how did you come into getting that opportunity? How did that opportunity come about from the content you've been producing? So for example, Laura Lucas was published in a magazine. She, you know, the conversation went on to that anyway, and it was kind of like, I've just been published in this magazine. It's a really great feeling to do this. The reason that this happened was because I've been blogging consistently for 8 months. If without the blogs, I wouldn't have been able to do that. And that all came out in the conversation, right? And to be honest with you as well, like if someone publishes a piece of content into the group and it has no value for it, it will be deleted, because it's just, there can't be too much content going in there day in, day out. I have to moderate it. It has to be heavily moderated. One of the other things I've learned about building a community online is you have to make sure everything is valuable to the group. So if you are going to post a piece of content in the group, you can do 2 or 3 things. You can either ask me because it's completely relevant and say, Chris, I'm going to post this, is that okay? And it probably will be. Like Mike's asked me before, Alan Hutchinson's asked me before about content. The other way to do it is to thread it into conversation. And the other way to do it, especially for our forum, is to use the Pay It Forward Friday as much as you can, because that is your space. That's me sort of saying to everybody, this is the place to put your content so that it's not going to spam the page and it's not going to clutter the threaded conversations that are going around. There's one single place every Friday. In fact, anytime you go back to the Pay It Forward Friday from last week and put it in there, and you can put your content in and I will share it. And so will everybody else that's participating in Pay It Forward Friday. So I would absolutely urge you to, and encourage you and recommend that you use the Pay It Forward Friday thing that we're doing. And then every other time you've got a piece of content, think about what value it's going to add to the group, and then put it in, or put it into a conversation that's already taking place online. Some principles you can take there, hopefully, and use in other forums as well. I hope you've had a great Monday. Don't forget to be awesome.